Hi, good evening, and welcome to today's daily market summary. If you are just joining, I do this every day, every weekday at the close of the Nigerian equity market, and that's the NGX. That's why you have NGX as part of the title. So, thank you to everyone who takes out the time to like, share, subscribe. Thank you for everyone who's subscribed. I quite appreciate it because there's an avalanche of content out there, and it could be anywhere but here. So the fact that you take out the time to watch, to like, to share, to subscribe, to comment, it it means a great deal to me, and please keep doing so. The more you do so, then the more the content tends to rank higher in terms of the YouTube algorithm and the likes. But as always, please note that nothing I say is financial or trading advice. At best, they are my own opinions. I like to use the example of sports. I mean, I can say Manchester United will win the Premiership. I can say Liverpool will win. I don't know. That's, you can't base your investment decisions that way. Or I can also say that Emisi will win the current Big Brother Niger. Maybe someone else will win. Maybe Dede or whoever else is trending would win. That's also an opinion. So in the same way, you would not take my opinion as advice, opinions on reality TV and sports. The same way you should not take people's opinion as investment advice. It doesn't matter who they are. Do your own research, and that's the essence of content like this. Hopefully it helps people have a better understanding of numbers, a better understanding of equity markets. And I'm not only stocks. So who knows? From time to time I'll do other stuff other than stocks, but I do a lot of stock content as well. So you also want to check out the podcast on Spotify as well. So there is a lot of my non-Nigerian and non-stock related content goes there. So all share index fell 0.19% today. The index measures the average performance of stocks. Some stocks will do better than the index, and some stocks will do worse than the index. So it's been a down week. I'd say more of a profit taking week as well. I don't have the weekly reports, but I think it should be out maybe later this evening or tomorrow. And by the way, I do a trade on Monday mornings, most Monday mornings, where I summarize the market's previous week's activities on the NGX and US market. So you want to check that out as well. It also goes up as an article on greenticker and my Substack. All the links, or most of the links you need, are in my bio on YouTube here. So the index fell 0.19%. Index measures average performance of stocks on the exchange. How did today fare? I'd say, let's start differently. Let's start from volumes and value. Volume meaning number of shares traded, value meaning the worth of shares traded. The value is pretty tiny. I think roughly I was seeing there's a write-up about 8.8 billion naira worth of shares were traded today. That's really poor. So there's been a massive drop in value traded. Greenticker was the most actively traded stock by value, 1.9 billion shares traded. Zenith Bank, 1.13 billion shares. Distant second to Zenith Bank is WAPCO. You can also call it Lafarge Africa, 921.6 million shares traded. Fourth place, Access Corporation, parent company of Access Bank, 712.8 million shares traded. And then you also have First Holdco. First Holdco, by the way, is the parent company of the popular First Bank of Nigeria, the Blue Elephant Bank. So it's today was a rather tepid day in terms of volumes and all that. For the gainers, mostly small cap stocks. That's what the trend we've been seeing last couple of days. Learn Africa is in the publishing space, up 9.86% to close at 7 naira 80 kobo. Union Daikon gained 8% to close at 12 naira 1 kobo. Daikon. Daikon is supposed to be in the soft space, but there's not much of activity going in terms of operation in that firm. So, yeah, that's what it is. Prestige Assurance. Prestige is in the insurance space, up 6.75% to close at 1 naira 74 kobo. Academy Press, also another player in the publishing space, gained 6.11% to close at 9 naira 55 kobo. While Omatech, I think this should be second or third time this week, Omatech is on the gainers side, up 6.06% to close at 1 naira 40 kobo. On the losers end of things, John Holt, a conglomerate, down 10% to close at 6 naira 30 kobo. So the stock lost 70 kobo. Lasaco insurance, it seems insurance are back in play in terms of ups and downs, swings, and all that. Because Lasaco fell today 9.64% to close at 3 naira. I don't have the book value per share for Lasaco of heart, but it's something you can do if you're mathematically inclined. Or do I do a podcast episode on it? So if I get 20 comments with a yes, I'll do a podcast episode on Lasaco. Insurance stocks, I generally have been watching Nigerian markets for almost a decade. So by the time you do that, you're kind of familiar with the companies, the players, the balance sheets, all what you need to know. Lasaco is a firm I've paid some attention to simply because it's an insurance firm. A huge chunk of it is owned by the Lagos State government, so that's why you have the name Lasaco and all that, if I recall correctly. Let me see if I can get the meaning of Lasaco meaning, just to be sure that I am correct. But I believe it has some with Lagos. It should be. Why is any full name spelled out properly? Nowhere. That's rather odd. So I'll find it. But if I get enough comments, I get 20 comments, I'm going to have a Spotify episode on Lasaco. So Lasaco fell 9.64% to close at 3 naira. Guinea Insurance fell 7.79% to close at 1 naira and 42 kobo. Guinea Insurance, I can tell you, is probably trading above book value. A few weeks ago, I did a video on some of these insurance firms. So you want to check out that video, it's on YouTube. I can't quite remember if I posted it on LinkedIn. So if you're watching this on LinkedIn, you'd have to cross over to YouTube. But I did do a Spotify episode. So if Spotify is your thing, then you can check Spotify. And I think I have an episode on do I? I'm not too sure if I have an episode on Guinea. But I need to check. I know I did a couple of episodes. So you can check and let me know, and I'll check and let you know as well. Universal Insurance dropped its 2024 numbers today, but unfortunately, they're not very clear. So I really can't opine. I can't opine on those numbers. They're not clear. I hope management looks into it because I just can't read those numbers. So what am I saying here? Yeah, not legible. Yeah. NSL Tech, from the look of things, seems to be swinging. Or is it on a decline? It's actually on a decline because if I recall correctly, NSL Tech fell yesterday. NSL Tech is in the lottery space. So it fell yesterday, I believe. Either fell or gained. I'd have to check. But whichever way it is, this stock has a spot on my watch list for the coming week. So just in case you see there, you know why it's there. So that's an advance, got a heads up on one stock that will make my watch list for the week. So that's pretty much how today shaped out. I am waiting for a couple of numbers. Qtix, Qtix sent in a statement that they will be releasing their Q1 first quarter numbers on or before the 30th of August. And the 30th of August is Saturday. So those numbers will either be out today or tomorrow. And just in case you're wondering, the NGX has a portal. It's called an issuers portal. So companies can send in information at any day, at any time. In fact, I remember a few years ago, this was probably very likely 2017, nope, or This was either between in the late in the mid 2020s in terms of years. I saw a bank dropping its result on a Sunday evening. I was shocked. So um, things like that do happen. In fact, don't be surprised if you have banks dropping results on Fridays or Saturdays or Sundays. We are in the business of finance, and money never sleeps. So I hope you found this useful. I see you. And just before you go, follow the podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, content, greentickerdeals.com. I'm working on a compendium of insider dealings for the month of August and July. I should be done with that of July before next week. First of Monday is the 1st of September, I believe, or the first Monday. First Monday in the month of September, first day of the month of September. So you can check out, just keep an eye on the website as well. What's coming up tomorrow? A stock beginner series. The first video is up on YouTube already. So if you check the playlist segment of YouTube, you'd see it, the beginner series. So we continue tomorrow. My initial plan was to make a 1 hour video, but I saw that I did a 30-minute video and it was extremely long. And attention spans these days, it's a struggle for people to watch 30 minutes video, except it's gist and all the like. So I probably would break the video down. It might take a couple of more weeks to run and all that. For those on TikTok as well, I'm not sure if I have a TikTok link in my bio. I'd have to check, but if you don't see there, you can drop a comment. On Monday, I will be starting a personal finance series on TikTok. So it's going to run every day, Monday to Friday on TikTok. So it starts with the basics of investing, why you need to invest, types of investments, what to consider for an investment, building a circle of competence. So I'm going to be doing all that on TikTok. TikTok is a different world out there, so one has to maybe, I would say, take things a bit simpler first before dialing up to the complex stuff. For Spotify, I'll have New Holdings and CrowdStrike podcasts go up by 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. West African time, respectively. So if you're not following on the Spotify and other places, it's simultaneously posted on Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube Music, a couple of other ones, like I think these are a couple of them. I didn't put them there, but you have these platforms that circulate your stuff everywhere once you upload in one place. So I want to watch out for that as well. I promised someone I was going to do an episode on ETI, EcoBank Trans International, to go up sometime on Sunday. So you want to keep an eye on those things as well. And really, money never sleeps. We are in the world of finance, 247. Every day something is constantly happening. I mean, as an analyst, I'm looking at all markets. I'm looking at stocks. I'm looking at crypto. I'm looking at local stocks. I'm looking at foreign stocks. I'm looking at crypto. I'm looking at commodities. And every other thing as well. But whatever happens, I find interesting. I'd share on my social media and as well as all these platforms. So have yourself a great weekend. It's a race weekend for me. I know there's a GP race. I don't have it, but I've been seeing the buzz as well. So I'm definitely going to catch up with that as well. If you're a Big Brother fan, I don't know if somebody's going to be evicted. Is it this Sunday? But I definitely try to keep an eye on that as well. Whichever way you relax, do try to find time to relax. Catch you guys tomorrow and stay safe.